now. So again, welcome to the Career Advancement Club hosted by Community Career Promoter. We are excited that you're here tonight. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about our host and our sponsors tonight. So our webinar host is the Community Career Promoter. The Community Career Promoter inspires career advancement seekers to achieve their highest human potential. We connect career advancement seekers with local career resources, and we serve all people who seek career advancement. Here's just a friendly message from the Community Career Promoter. We encourage you to contact your nearest American Job Center, find the one nearest you, and these are physical locations. You should be able to find one in your area. In addition, on the virtual side, if you go to careeronestop.org, this is an amazing resource to be able to find tips and tricks for networking, interviewing, negotiating, also to help you with your job search. We have 4 sponsors of our webinar this evening. The first is called Impact Management and IT Solutions. Impact Management and IT Solutions provide simplified solutions, management services from start to completion, and information technology services from basic to complex based on the customer's needs. Our next sponsor is Addis Solutions. Addis Solutions provides digital marketing, including website development, print and online promotion materials, online marketing, and advertising. And please just make sure you are on mute if you have just joined us. Our third sponsor is Aziv Talele, Promo Club LLC. Aziv Talele is an international business promoter. Services include business-to-business global network, top-level music promoter, and nonprofit promoter. And finally, our last sponsor is ICAT Professional Services. ICAT is your partner for professional development, talent source, data analytics, and societal impact. Our service offerings include Career Academy, outsourcing, staffing, and recruitment, applied data analytics, and social enterprise. So just some reminders for you while we conduct this webinar. These tools are available to you. Again, we just ask that you mute yourself and keep your video off for the purposes of the presentation. However, we would love to hear from you in the chat, so we encourage you to ask questions, give us comments, agree or disagree, and you can use the raise your hand function as well. So as we go ahead and get started, I'd like to introduce to you our guest presenter tonight. This is Gabe Hamda, and he is from the ICAT Professional Services. He is an expert in the area of freelancing and will be sharing his expertise tonight. So Gabe, I'd love to hear from you. Could you tell us a little bit about your background and what you've done with freelancing?
Good evening. Kimberly, thank you so much for hosting this or for being our moderator, and I'm delighted to be a presenter tonight. So the first thing I want to do is share with you my relationship with being a global freelancer or what I have to do with this. So first and foremost, I have been freelancing my work for a long time. What that means is, while keeping a day job, I have been doing side work, gig work, doing contract work with different people who needed my services. My expertise is instructional system design, course development, and as well as training delivery, facilitating various seminars. So, while I had a full-time job, I did all these kinds of special skills I have to various clients, some in volunteer capacity, others for paid. So that's my relationship. And also having been business in the ICAT professional services for 26 years, being a small business, that many of our projects do not require a full-time person. So we hire freelancers, someone who can give us 5 hours to do graphic arts, or someone who can give us 20 hours to do web development, or someone who can give us 50 hours to develop a course, or someone who can spend 75 hours doing business analysis. So I have been in the business of hiring, recruiting, grooming freelancers, and also at the same time doing freelancing. So this is a subject that is near and dear to me. So I'm just excited today to bring you this topic for those of you who may be doing this, or for those of you who have never tried this, so that you can get in the act. And that's why I'm doing this.
Awesome. Well, I think it's great that you bring all of those unique talents to this idea, especially because it does seem like everybody comes from different backgrounds and are requiring different steps for what do they want to pursue next. So we're excited to hear what you have to say. So could you tell us a little bit about what does it mean to become a global freelancer?
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Kimberly, again for asking me this question. So the first thing is the what question. So I want to look at maybe 3 words. One is, let's just look at the word freelancer. Freelancer means you have a special skill, and that skill may be at the advanced level, medium level, or entry level. Let's just say, I gave you a few examples early on. Maybe you are a music composer. Maybe you are a writer. Maybe you are an editor. You have some kind of special skills, and it is making those skills available to those who need your services. Maybe someone, let's say someone is just building a little flyer, right? A little flyer to do some, some kind of sales, yard sale or whatever. And your skills in graphic arts, maybe you needed to do that, or you want to build a website and you can help them do that. So it is making your skills available on kind of like on demand. Now, I refer to this global because, our world is interconnected nowadays, and you can be sitting in, I think we have, Azeb from Wichita, you can sit in Wichita and your services may be needed by someone in Australia, or you may be sitting in rural Ghana and your services may be needed in Kenya or in Canada or in the USA. So the global nature is because of internet, is to be able to make your services available remotely for someone who needs them in small increments within their budget. So to me, becoming a global freelancer is to make your services available to people who need it.
Excellent. And I think there's more opportunity for that than there's ever been.
True. Yes. More and more. More and more.
So tell us, why is global freelancing important? Could you share some of the benefits of global freelancing? So,
Kimberly, I wanna encourage the audience or the participants, maybe, in chat, they can just, mention, their name and say, their experience with freelancing, if they have done any freelancing, any, particular skills, special skills they may have. So we can just make this engaging, interactive by, people saying, hey, I'm good in advising people, career advising, helping people prepare their resumes, or whatever your skills are. If you can share your skills and your experience in doing this, or this is the first time you've done, so you can just pretty much put that in chat so that we can know. Now, as we say that, I guess to get into the why of global freelancing, why it is important, I want to mention a couple of things. Number one, our world economy is moving into more like a talent economy. Okay, there was a time when, you needed to have a big port, or you needed to have, gold mine or, like oil or all kinds of these physical assets. And guess what? Today's number one asset for a country or an organization is talent. Talent makes everything happen. Your organization can add value when there is talent. So a lot of people say, well, I want to be in the restaurant business, or I want to be in the information technology business, this and that, and say, oh, I don't have the skills. Guess what? You don't need to have the skills. What you need is people with talents. And so overall, our global economy is moving more increasingly becoming a talent-based economy. And this shift is going to require a lot of freelance talent. So that's, I guess, the first benefit or the first reason why this is so important. Also, I think organizations incomes or their revenue sometimes shrinks, sometimes expands, and hiring a full-time employee is increasingly becoming challenging for organizations. And so this is an economical way for organizations to get the skills and the services they need. So let's say, if they just need a website to be developed, hiring someone full-time to do that will just be too much for them cost-wise. But they can hire someone for 50 hours or 45 hours to get it done. So it's economical on demand as needed, okay? Another thing is there are these freelance exchange platforms. There are, freelance exchange platforms, and these platforms are making it possible for those who seek the services to go to this platform and people who have the skills to go to these platforms for an even exchange. Particularly, the reason I'm talking about global is, how can I hire someone who is in Ghana? How can I hire someone who is in Australia? How can I hire someone who is in China or India? Well, guess what? These platforms are making it possible, without a need for visa or work permit to use their talents where they are, because these technology platforms are making it possible and easy. Another reason is, COVID-19 is making remote work a norm. There was a time when organizations wanted all their employees to show up to work, okay? All employees needed to show up to work. And guess what? Since COVID, just because of social distancing, rather physical distancing or quarantining, organizations are beginning to use, their talents remotely. So that is making it normal. And then, organizations are actually finding it to be much more cost effective. So that is also another reason. And the need for freelance work is increasing because of that. I think another thing, the obvious maybe elephant in the room is, I think the expansion of technology and the Internet of Things and communication. There are free communication tools to communicate with people all over the world, and all of this is making remote work possible. So it's all over us. And I think in closing, I want to say I know people who are disappointed. They say, I don't know what happened. I've been working for this company for 15 years and now I'm at the door. What did I do? What did I do to them? Guess what? The whole economy is moving into freelance. It's just not cost effective to have a full-time employee. And so this is becoming an option. So might as well ride this wave and bring more revenue, get more exposure, and get your skills out and benefit from it. If there are any questions on the why, or people have a different opinion about it, I'll be happy to entertain.
We had Joe W. here who answered about some of his skills in freelancing. He says he's great with QuickBooks, event planning, problem solving, and it sounds like looking to be an investment advisor in the near future.
My goodness. Now, did you say, is that Jim or Joe?
Joe.
Joe has a range of skills, investment advice, QuickBooks, I'll tell you what, the skills that you have lend themselves very well for freelancing global. So my question to Joe is, are you doing any freelancing? Are you thinking about it? Are you making a whole lot of money? What's the deal? So if you can maybe chat back and let me know, we can. Not yet. So Joe, this night is your night. Hopefully we'll give you more tools so that you can make those skills available.
Yes. So Joe and everybody else, please make sure you give us your email in the chat so we can send you some more resources as well. And I want to acknowledge, forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, but Anyawu, you had asked about connecting later. Same thing, if you would give us your email address, we can definitely give you some more resources. We'll also have this webinar available tomorrow at noon as well, if that's a time that works for you to reconnect.
Thank you.
Well, I tell you what, I do want to, I think from what I can briefly say your name one more time, pronounce your first name or however you want us to say your name, please.
It's when you look at it, it's just like it's spelled Anyanwu or Anyawu.
Anyawu. Okay, wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you.
So now, where are you based?
I'm in Wichita, Kansas.
You are from the fabulous Wichita, Kansas. Well, I'll tell you what, I think I saw in your remark that you do community healing, right?
Yes, and allyship building.
My goodness, your skills will be needed everywhere on earth, wherever there is conflict within people, within communities based on a number of factors. You know, when people focus, I don't want to get into a soapbox where, you know, people are focused on their differences or why they have so much in common. The skills you have can be much in need. And, you know, wherever there is war and everything going, you have the power. And from Wichita, you can be in Wichita and virtually bring two communities together and bring healing. So I think I'd love to chat with you more. So you
Yes,
have very transferable skills anywhere on earth. How about that?
that would be great. Well, I don't know. Oh, and you'll let me know how I can connect with you because that's just perfect. That's what we want to do.
Absolutely. I can't wait to talk to you. So just leave us your email, your contact information. You don't have to leave us your bank account for now. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, let's get to that way later. So
There you go.
that's
That will
great.
come later.
Okay, I'll send you my email. Thank you.
Perfect.
All right, anyone else, feel free to leave us some more information about your skills or questions you have. Going back to what you were saying, Gabe, I know they say in investing to always diversify your portfolio. And I think everything you've talked about really speaks to how can we diversify our ability to use our talents and make money and kind of step into this new realm that we're entering with the global economy. So it's really setting us up for success.
Yes. Let me just kind of maybe jump in, you know, Kimberly, and say one thing. You know, my family and I moved to the Washington, D.C. area 10 years ago. And there was a skill set I did not know I had until then. So I was part of a community meeting. And so the situation just kind of brought itself for me to moderate a meeting, just accidentally. So next thing you know, I was on a stage. And next thing you know, I was moderating. And next thing you know, everyone was asking for me to moderate meetings. So I'm saying this to say, definitely I walk on water. There are so many skills I have no idea I have, but I have them. And so do you. So the point I'm making is, unless you try, you never know. And I speak with people who say, I have no skills. I said, did you hear what he just said? You have plenty of skills. Put it out and try. You know, did you ever consider one day maybe just go out and sing to the birds? And when the birds start flying toward you, you have a talent to sing. So there, you may live with a talent that you never knew you had unless you try them. So I just want to encourage you, because I discovered I have so many talents I did not know, I was never aware of, until you try one day. And when people say, you know what, Do it again. Do it one more time. Do it for my group. It's a sign you have that talent.
Mm. That's excellent, especially when you think about how many of us have done a full-time job for years that only uses a certain number of our skills, and we just don't realize we have so much more to offer that we could be marketing in this freelance environment.
Absolutely. Now, Kimberly, I don't know if we share with the group, were you a high school English teacher?
Yes, I've been a high school English teacher for about 4 years.
Oh my goodness. You can rule the world if you want. If you have been an English teacher in high school, you can do anything. And let me just kind of highlight using, Kimberly as an example. Let's say you may think your job is teaching English and, the group you are in front of is English, high school students. And guess what? Maybe out of that, there may be a very special skill. Maybe let's say when you have, Kimberly, how many students did you have in a class? Just any one class?
About 30.
30 students. Actually, you are just helping me make my point. Let's say you have 30 students and you just have a very special talents in listening for what students are saying sometimes. Did I guess right? You listen well to what they say?
I try, yes.
Say yes. Say yes.
Yes.
Yes, you listen. Very good. You know what? You can just simply say listening skill may be a huge commodity. Let's say, whenever there is a conversation between groups and factions and communities that are at war, a lot of times the reason for their conflict may be one not listening to the other. So you can pretty much single out your listening skills and say, listen, I can listen not only for words. There are people who just listen for words and they miss the point behind, the emotion behind. And that can be such a powerful skill nowadays to bring healing to communities and groups and countries and, nations. So with that said, back to the regular program, Kimberly.
All right. Well, we've answered the what, we've answered the why. So tell us about how. What can we do? If you would say there's one thing we should do to start as a freelancer, what would that be?
Well, Kimberly, I'm so glad you asked that. The one question, people say, the one thing I need to do to become a global freelancer, and this may be a good message for Joe who wants to begin, right? I would say the one thing that you need to do to become a global freelancer is to identify a technology platform that facilitates this. I say that is a single thing you need to do. So in this art, actually, I have an article I wrote on this subject, and I have a list of these technology platforms. For those of you who either have done Uber or any of those share riding, the technology platform is similar to that, where they match people who are looking for freelancers and people who have freelance skills to sell. So I would say the first thing is to find one of these and sign up with them. What do I mean by that? When you find one of these freelance sites and you sign up, the process you follow to sign up will tell you everything. For one, you will kind of have to declare your skills and talents. You have to declare your price. Per hour, I want to charge X amount. You have to kind of maybe even upload to the site your portfolio. Telling people, let's say if you are in Wichita, Kansas, and people in Australia want to hire you, which they can, I hope they do very soon. And one way you convince them you can do the work is to give them a sample of work. Okay. It may be a video recording, a little video recording of you facilitating. It may be a video or an image of a website you developed, or a writing, an article you've done. So, these platforms will show you exactly what you do, and they will do the marketing for you. I think if you have to do one thing is to find a platform and sign up. The process of signing up is a single step you can do. You can do this successfully right away.
That's excellent. And that's pretty easy to get started, right? I mean, you can sign up for most of these things in 5 minutes and then you can start looking around, right?
Yes. So actually, Kimberly, someone, I want everyone who is here to kind of participate in our conversation. The minute this webinar is over, I'd like for you to run to one of these platforms and just kind of check out what the requirements are and sign. So, we have a list of them to give you. And if you just want to say, freelance platform, if you just type freelance platform, give them a try. And I do want to tell you maybe one example I've used recently is Upwork. Just the way it sounds, Upwork, UP work. So I accidentally ran into Upwork, as of maybe a month ago. I did not even know this existed. I was desperately looking for a freelance talent, and I discovered this site, and I signed up. I put an ad, and next thing you know, I had a ton of talents in the area I'm looking for all over the world, okay? All over the world. And everything was easy. Guess what? In the end, I hired someone to do a sales flyer, and I budgeted 5 hours at the rate they have. Bingo! In 3 days, everything I asked was done and complete and to our satisfaction and came back to me, just like that. So the platform definitely is one. So I've used Upwork, and there are many other sites. So I don't want to limit your search, and you may like Upwork and you may like some others. That would be my number one, or the one suggestion to get started.
Excellent. And so could you give us some tips? What are 5 tips you have for us as prospective freelancers or those who may have started?
Yes. So I think, we are going from the one thing you have to do, which is to, find a site and sign up and go through that process, to building a muscle. The 5, 5 tips, the 5 things I suggest for everyone to do. So I would say the first thing, Kimberly, this is kind of pointing to you, is proficiency in English. Okay. I know that our audience, for some people, including myself, English is our second language. For others, when you were born, you spoke English. And guess what? English is a global language. The common language, if you are in Wichita, or you are in rural Ethiopia, or you are in Ghana, and you want to do business with someone in Pakistan or Canada or United States of America, English is that common language that you need. So your proficiency in English is the very first skill that you need. Why? For one, you may be the top engineer that everyone needs, but if you cannot communicate, people cannot communicate with you. They cannot do business with you. So English becomes so essential. I mean, I totally understand, people have native languages. I speak 2 other languages other than English. And, everyone, my other 2 languages, people who speak those languages, there is so much pride as if those are the only languages. I get it. Guess what? You are wired to speak multiple languages. As human beings, we are equipped to chew gum and walk at the same time, to speak multiple languages. So I just want to say, this is not a political statement. This is a tool for you to succeed in a global economy. So English, I know I kind of make a big deal about it. Now, I do want to say there is no excuse for anyone today, no matter where you are, because there are so many free resources available on the internet. Just look online and see what's available to you for free or at a very, very low cost for you to improve your English proficiency, whether it is speaking, writing, any of those skills can be developed, okay? So that's kind of one. I think the second one is to build a portfolio, for you to be considered for a job. There are, let's say if you do graphic art, there are many other graphic artists. So it is to have a portfolio. And your skill sets may not be advanced level. Maybe you are entry level. Guess what? You can improve on it. You can make it better. And as you do different work, you can make that work available on your portfolio. You can redact the proprietary feature of what you've done for someone and make it available on your portfolio site. And there are so many free sites where you can host or post your portfolio. and you can do that. Taddy, I think, who is part of this webinar, did a small presentation on developing your portfolio, and maybe you can give us a few pointers, and maybe we can even ask him to speak next time. So building your portfolio will be another thing you need to do. Another area I need to build is to build your skills in the area where you are freelancing. I know, Joe, early on you spoke about QuickBooks, okay? So, QuickBooks may have advanced levels, so it's kind of continue to enhance. And, so whatever skills you have, continue to grow it, continue to fine tune it, and become good at it. And so that's kind of the third area. Third area, soft skills. What do soft skills have to do with freelancing if you have a technical skills? Guess what? Soft skills are essential. Soft skills are responsible for 85% of your success. A lot of people believe that having a technical skill will get you there. Nope. It is soft skills. It is emotional skills. It's when you work with people, it's reading their emotions. It's interpersonal skills. So those skills will be very important in your ability to succeed. So build soft skills. And you may say, where do I get the skills? Guess what? There are so many free webinars, including this platform, where you can gain soft skills. You can get free recordings of webinars. You can go to various YouTube channels where you can get webinar, YouTube channels on where you can build soft skills. So I think I would say that is something you can do on your own and improve on, and improve your skills. And I would say last but not least is to have a mindset of a global citizenship. So each of us come with nationality. You may be, of course, American or some other nationality. Guess what? We are also bonded together as global citizens. It is to have that mindset. So I keep saying, let's say doing business with someone in Australia. What you and someone from Australia have in common is both of you are global citizens. Is to have that understanding. You are not limited by the nation you are from. You are also a global citizen. Being a global citizen, you have privileges, okay? As a global citizen, you have every right to do business with people on the other side of the ocean. And at the same time, you have obligations. So being a global citizenship comes with obligations and responsibilities and privileges. So it's kind of having that mindset that you may be different from someone who is from, South America or from Canada or Europe or Asia. Your language may be different, your culture may be different. Guess what? As global citizens, there is so much we have in common. So with that said, those are just some of the tips and the details you can read in this article that we can make available to you when you send us your email. We can send you the recording as well as this write-up. And I know we'll be repeating this webinar tomorrow at noon Eastern time, and you can invite people to come join us. Kimberly, I talk too much.
No, I think everything you've said, we appreciate it. And we'd love to hear from everyone on the chat. If you have questions or comments, additional ideas that you'd like to share, we'd love to help you any way we can.
Well, either I did an amazing job of answering every question, or people may have started doing freelancing work with someone in Australia. So well, Kimberly, if there are no questions, you can wrap us up and get us ready for the next one. How about that?
All right. Well, again, we appreciate you being here tonight. The community career promoter was our host tonight. And just a reminder, we will be having these every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find us right here again. We want to thank our generous sponsors again. And as Gabe said, if you would like to tune in tomorrow at noon, we will be doing the same webinar we did tonight. Feel free to invite friends, family, colleagues, anyone you know who would benefit from this information and this contact. And next week, just so you know, tonight was a special program with Gabe here, and we'll be going to our normal program next week, which is having someone come who is a guest and can tell us a little bit about a success story from their career and provide some feedback and ideas about that as well. So if there are no more questions, we will wrap up for tonight, but please again, make sure you leave us your name and your email in the chat so we can send you those resources Gabe talked about. We have an article explaining in a little bit more detail what he talked about, as well as the resources from tonight. And this webinar is being recorded, so we can share that as well. Gabe, do you have anything else for us before we call it for this evening?
You know, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to speak with everyone. And Kimberly, thank you so much. You have no idea. So, you know, Kimberly did not have a whole lot of advance notice to do this for us. And so I'm so grateful for everyone and wherever you are located. So I usually like to say, you know, in community career promoter, the services that we provide is just to inspire. However, our biggest message is for people to visit their nearest American Job Center. There is just so much resource out there. There are 2,500, you know, American Job Centers wherever you are located. You can just look it up. And I usually tell people, you know, tell your friends, your family members, and even your enemies. And guess what? Those people who just can't stand you, once they know, you know, they go to the American Job Center and they find jobs or promotional opportunities, they become your biggest fan. So I just like to add that, you know, to kind of keep you smile. And I hope you keep smiling, and I hope everyone succeeds and you become a widely successful global freelancer. And we look forward to seeing you next time soon.
All right. Thank you again for joining us.